Good afternoon. I'll now call to order our meeting today for the Allegheny County Board of Education, Tuesday, August 12th, 2025 at 4:01 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, Mr. Llewellyn will read closed session summaries for executive sessions held July 15th.
The Allegheny County Board of Education met in closed session on July 15, 2025 at 1 p.m. here at the central office. All 5 board members were present and voted to go into a closed session. The topics discussed were appointment of administrative positions, school resource officers, state board appeal, and employee termination.
Thank you, Mr. Llewellyn. Before we proceed, we want to take a moment and recognize our new student member of the board this year, Miss Angel Israel, and she is representing Allegany and the Career Center, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. We're excited to have you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next we have the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Dr. Bond? Second by Mrs. Widmeyer. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you. First, under our superintendent's report this evening, we are recognizing the Allegany baseball team as state champs, and Miss Tracy Leonard is going to speak on their behalf.
Good afternoon. I would like to recognize the 1A state baseball champion, Allegany Campers. On May 24th, they went down to Bowie Bay Sox Stadium and they defeated the St. Michael's Saints at a score of 6-2. They were not able to be here with us on June the 2nd because they were being recognized at Camden Yards. So we would like to take this opportunity now to hear a few words from the head coach, John Irons, on his season and the players that are here representing Allegany.
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you for having us, to the superintendent, the elected board, Ms. Tracy Leonard, our athletics supervisor. We appreciate being here. I was able to get a few guys here. They are very busy individuals this time of year, and even the ones that have gone off to college, we were lucky enough to get Miles here. He's going to Garrett to play baseball, so he's close enough. He was able to make it. But no, we certainly appreciate you having us and recognizing their accomplishment. And I'd also like to thank Mr. Scott Bauer, our new principal at Allegany, for being here. It's kind of appropriate that he is here because he's very connected to Allegany baseball. He was my JV baseball coach when I played at Allegany High School. He was the head coach when I was on the staff at Allegany High School. He kind of laid the entire foundation for what I was able to take over 4 years ago. And he won't want to admit it, but he's a huge part of this state championship also, because it was there for me, and I was just very fortunate to be in the right place at the right time. So I'm glad to have him here and as our new principal. One of the things he taught me was you need to have an excellent assistant coaching staff. You have to put good people around you. I was smart enough to know that I'm not that smart, and I have great guys around me. So appreciative of my coaching staff. They are phenomenal guys. My JV coaches all the way up through. They're kind of the heartbeat. They're the consistency to this whole thing, and they do a great job, and they get very little in return. But they just love baseball. So just want to mention them real quick. From my pitching coach, Ryan Miller, Brandon Reed, Blake Getz, Jake Van Meter, a bunch of guys that have played for Coach Bauer and I over the years. My JV coaches, Cody Jeffries, Roy Jeffries, Matt Wright, Cody Ellsworth, Sean Ferdiska, all just super dedicated baseball guys who just want to see these kids succeed. And going out and watching them each day makes me proud to be a part of it. And the way they work with kids and teach the game is important. And then, of course, the guys, the ones that aren't here, the ones that are here, they were a phenomenal group of kids to coach. We've been very, very good for the past 4 years. And if people outside our program would have picked a team that wasn't going to win it all, it would have been these guys, and they embraced that. They kind of took on that underdog role. They were We talked every day about getting better every day. We just want to go out and get better. If we can be the best team we can be in May, then we give ourselves a shot. And they embrace that. And when they were hearing all the noise about this is the year Allegany goes down, and we talked about the fact that you can take it one of two ways. You can make it a self-fulfilling prophecy. You can let it put your head down, shrug your shoulders, and say we're not any good. Those guys, so-and-so's not here anymore. Or you can let it drive you every day. And I was just so proud of the fact that they showed up every day, and they weren't going to be that team. They weren't going to be the one that got beat up on after the 3 years of all the success we have. And they went on and had a lot more success than the 3 years previous. So very cool to see. I appreciate being here. They're tired of listening to me talk, so but we are honored and we do appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Coach, stay there if you would. Oh, God.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Coach, I'm going to ask you to go back there again, and I'm going to ask the three of you to go over there. Can you please walk over to the podium, please? First of all, congratulations on behalf of our total community and the Board of Education. I have to admit that I was not appointed to the superintendency yet, but I have a love for athletics, and I follow all the teams. And anytime there's a team represented from Allegany County, I'm always following the MPSSA site, watching the bracket advance, and I followed you from a distance, and I was so proud of you when you won. I also know the other team pretty well in terms of the coach there, and you did a remarkable job and represented us well. Your words were so well spoken and heartfelt, and I really appreciate your acknowledgement of our principal and the work of which he has done. He's an amazing human being with energy, and that's just contagious, as I can tell from you. And you as young people, the work that you will never forget this moment as state champions. Would you mind just, I just want to know one thing. How do you all feel about this? I would like to hear from each one of you. Go ahead, just real quickly. How do you feel?
It's a different feeling. You know, I've been there for 4 years, JV all the way up through senior year, and I was with the best of the best players who got committed to the best schools. For not winning the last 3 years, this year was, I didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah.
It was rough, but we got through it. We practiced every day. We practiced hard. And it just, when we got to it, we became Bulldogs, and we pounded and we pounded and we pounded until we got what we wanted. So it was a good feeling.
But isn't that a life lesson, though, right? As well, persistence and grit and determination will be a life lesson for you. So I love how you said that, pounding it out, pounding it out. Can you go up and say the same thing? How do you feel? Well said. Thank you.
You know, I just got to Allegany this year, so, you know, it felt really good to look up to these guys and play with them, but not only win with them, that felt really good too.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to be like them back in middle school, you know, playing really good
How about
ball.
that?
And I saw them playing really well, so I just wanted to do what they did, and we won one, so it felt really good, yeah.
You sure did, but now think of all the people the young people who are looking up to you, right, who are coming behind at that same level. Did you say you were a designated hitter? Is that what your position was?
Yes.
Yeah, that's an excellent job. Thank you for that. How about you?
It felt good for my second year with Allegany. I mean, getting moved up halfway through the season, it felt good, and going into the playoffs, it just felt good, making like being able to make a run, to go all the way, and it felt good.
Yeah, that feeling when you all won, got that last out, I'm sure that will be with you forever. And you played outfield, if that's what it is.
Backup, but
Yeah, okay. Well done. We are so proud of you. And just one more time, everybody who's in the audience, thunderous round of applause. Amazing. Congratulations. Very proud of you.
We can't believe in June that you chose Camden Yards over this meeting. I mean, come on.
It was
Priorities.
A pretty cool experience. They actually did a really, really nice job for these kids. It was a pretty cool experience.
That's exciting. You need to take advantage of that. You all are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but you can also step out, and I think they're going to get your picture out in the foyer.
Thank you.
Okay, we have some recognition of some FBLA skill winners from the Career Center, and Dr. Martirano is actually going to take the lead on that.
Thank you, Board President. I appreciate it. Board members, Skills USA competition is the event where students showcase their skills in over 100 trades, 14 for what we define in the Allegany County Public School System, technical and leadership competitions. These competitions are designed by industry professionals to ensure students are learning relevant skills needed to be successful in the workplace. So it is a competition. I'm happy to announce tonight Bethany Scott, in terms of graphic design imaging, sublimation, placed first place in state competition, second year in a row for Bethany to qualify for nationals, and her instructor is Michael Shockey. She is not here tonight, but let's give her a thunderous round of applause as well. Extremely proud of her, and we'll look forward to an opportunity to congratulate her in person. Board members, next, many of you know of the acronym FBLA, which stands for the Future Business Leaders of America, which is a competitive event or series of contests designed to recognize and reward students' excellence in various business and career-related areas. These events provide opportunities for students to apply classroom concepts in a simulated workforce environment and receive feedback from business professionals. Several students involved in this program in recognition. First, we have Harley Smith in terms of P-TECH, which is a Pathways to Technology, and recognized for the ability of problem solving, placed second place in the state competition. Next, we have Violet Strakowski, again in the category of P-TECH, Pathways in Technology, Cybersecurity, placed first in state competition. And last but not least, Lucas Orndorff, P-TECH as well, Networking Infrastructures, and placed second in state competitions. The instructor is Tyler Couric, and we are really proud, and based upon the student placements at the state, all of these qualified individuals will now go on for national competition. So one, we congratulate them, and two, we wish them the very best in the national competition. And once again, a thunderous round of applause for these amazing young people.
Thank you, Dr. Martorano. We have one addition to the superintendent's report that I'm going to turn back over to Dr. Martorano to introduce and discuss.
Okay, thank you. To staff who are paying attention right now to the technical aspect of the board meeting, can we please place the slide on the screen, if we could do that now? And could you enlarge it just a little bit, because it's an eye test in many ways. Is that possible? Maybe center it? There we go. Okay, that's okay. That's big. Board members and to members of our community and our school community, I'm absolutely honored to be your superintendent, and my appointment officially began on July 1st, 2025. During that period of time, I've been focusing on three aspects of our work. One, what I'm defining as keeping the trains in the organizational moving forward so we don't miss a beat. Two, responding to the initiatives of which we are now rolling out in our response to Westernport and schools within the Georges Creek area. And then the third strand that I'm spending a good bit of time on is reorganizing and structuring our organization to be positioned and prepared for the future challenges and instructional gains of which we intend to make over the next several years. So board members, I've presented to you and I'm presenting to you a reorganization of the central office leadership structure that supports the superintendent's work and the school system work, and mainly predicated on our belief that everything that matters in our school system occurs in our schools, and providing more supports. So as you see this chart arranged, you see the ultimate governing body for our school system as our elected board, all of you as our board members, the function of which you provide is memorialized in our organizational structure. A first piece of that I want to focus on is in the upper right area is the safety and security area, who Mr. Anthony Rungay is providing leadership in that area, will now report directly to the superintendent. I firmly believe that we need to provide a safe, orderly environment, and all the direction and leadership needs to come from the superintendent around that particular area. On the left-hand side, if you see the very balanced approach towards the organizational chart, you will see the public information officer designated as well, the individual who establishes our communications and works in that arena. Not memorialized on this actual slide, but as an addition to this, in the area of working with our technology department with the leadership of Mr. Jeff T. Blank and our public information officer, Christian Brooks, I will be adding to the school system's staffing structure a webmaster. We'll be having a new website developed here shortly, and it is our hope to enhance the communications with our community by the establishment of a webmaster position that will be responsible for the technical oversight of the organization of the website, but also for the development of content and the posting and the development of content so that we can inform our community more effectively what is happening. As you see in those blue boxes. You'll see obviously the superintendent in the middle underneath the Board of Education, and then 3 adjoining areas reporting directly to the superintendent in blue. I'm establishing a 3 chiefs model. 1 is already the existence of a chief financial officer, 2, the existence of a chief academic officer, and then 3, the establishment of a chief administrative officer, and that position will be held by Mr. Glenn Rice, as well as our chief academic officer being held by Kate Lockery, as well as then Larry McKenzie as our chief financial officer. And board members, what I want to say publicly is the dedication of these 3 individuals and how supportive they have been of my leadership as I transition into the organization. And I'm very proud to associate myself with both of those individuals, or all 3 of those individuals, I should say. Also recognizing the organization under each one of those blue boxes are the main functions and the operations of our school system. As you see under Mr. Glenn Rice, our Chief Administrative Officer, I'm now placing the obviously continuing there would be the Supervisor of Human Resources. Now under that area will be the Supervisor of Transportation, and also under there to provide more coherence and coordination will be the Director of Information Technology. So Mr. Glenn Rice will have all of those responsibilities as he assists me in the leadership of the school system. Additionally, under the superintendent, we have contracted legal services provided by our own Mike Llewellyn, who is sitting with the dais with us as well, and I'm very proud to have the support of Nicole Frost, who is the executive assistant to the superintendent. So the structure is supported with getting the work done. Under our Chief Financial Officer board members, you will also see the organization structure of the Supervisor of Maintenance, the Supervisor of Operations, and the Supervisor of Food Services, in addition to the work that occurs financially. That's a big job of the coordination of all those areas, but I'm pleased with the leadership that Mr. McKenzie has provided thus far in that arena overall. The area that I want to focus on, as I talked about with the addition of a webmaster, I want you to now direct our attention to the lower area of the structure where you see Kate Lockery as our Chief Academic Officer. Directly reporting to her is our Director of Special Education and Student Services, who happens to be present with us tonight, Wendy Main, and we thank her for her leadership as she is newly appointed. Now, Wendy and I have had some detailed discussions. Wendy can't do it all. She was our blueprint coordinator, and although she will continue to stay engaged in the work, I'm now creating some additional positions that will provide oversight to a number of things. So let me now take you to the left and the right of the blue box at the bottom with the creation of a Director of Secondary Education and a Director of Elementary and Early Childhood Education. These positions now exist in our organization, will exist in our organization, to further support the efforts of our school. Everything that we do in central office is to lead us to support our schools, and I'm from central office and I'm here to support and make the work in our schools more efficient and effective. The directors will have oversight and responsibility for the development of goals at each one of our schools, the evaluation of our principals, the establishment of our school improvement planning, and the monitoring, providing coherence with our training and professional development, and providing the connection around the blueprint in general. So there's coherence and coordination of our work. As you see, the directors sit directly in coordination with the Director of Special Education, and also underneath, there's a second page, all of the curriculum supervisors that fall under that falls to the next page of this organization. There's only so much space to put the actual blocks on this organizational chart. But then also you see what is highly emphasized is the principals at the secondary level, the principals at the elementary level, and in the largest box at the bottom of each one of those is the support of our students. So what I've done in a time is being very thoughtful about how I see the workflow occurring within our organization, strictly designed to get the results of support for our schools and keep the schools and our students at the center of all of our work, and also defining structures and a level of coherence for how work gets done in our workflow. So internally, I will be developing additional meeting structures that provide opportunities for ongoing feedback for me on a weekly basis, the additional supervision of our staff at central office, adjustment of work hours to be more accountable to the schools at central office, and making certain that we have overall support. So board members, I present this to you in public tonight to let you know my enthusiasm, one, for the work, but to provide a level of coherence that establishes a solid level of efficiency and effectiveness for our designation of resources. And might I also add that is extremely interested for the board members as oversight of the public steward of our dollars and our taxpayer dollars, that all of this is being done in a budget neutral way, re-examining our budget in a way where we have savings based upon salary and adjustments that have been made since the adoption of the FY26 budget, and to do this in a budget neutral manner. So this does not add any additional dollars to our school system, but the reapplication and the reapplying the dollars to get better results for our school system. So I'll stop there, and I wanted to introduce that again formally to our community and to our board, but recognizing that I continue to advance my philosophy that everything that we do at central office needs to be organized to support our students and our schools and our principals and our leaders and our teachers in our school system every day. And that representation really highlights that. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Martorano. Any board member comments, questions?
I would just like to say that I appreciate that you have done this in the 6 weeks you've been on board. I'm impressed that you've gotten so much done. I'm impressed that it's done without making a big hole in our budget. I think it's a great thing for the school system. It's spreading it out, and I think the staff will all be happy with it too. I know I am.
Wow. So going back, I've been on the board for 6 years, and I love the idea that this focus now, as not that it hasn't been, but that our focus now is publicly, let's support our schools. That's what the central office is here for. That's what the board exists for. Let's support the teachers, the administrators, and most importantly, our students, to make the educational experience the absolute best that it can be. And Dr. Martorano presented that to us in greater detail than he did with you, so we had to stay awake. But no, all kidding aside, I was very excited to see that he has put that insight into this, and I firmly believe that his goal is to support our schools and our administrators, our staff, and our students as best that we can possibly do it. So I look forward to seeing how this works out. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'll echo what both of them just said. Wow. We are excited moving into this school year. We appreciate all the knowledge and experience you've brought to everything. And I think this is a great plan to move forward with. Anyone else? All right, moving on to our instructional update. Miss Trina Simpson, you get to follow that.
I'll say one more while. All right. Are we on here now? Yeah. All right. So I am going to just present some information and a summary of the high school portion of summer school. When some say I oversee summer school, I like to clarify just the high school portion of that. There are a lot of programs that occur during the summer, but wanted to give you an update of that. We do hold credit recovery for high school students during the summer, as well as multiple times through the school year. We offer that as an after-school opportunity. That is for students that have taken a full year of a course and have not been successful. So instead of having to place that back on their schedule and putting them possibly off track for graduation, we do offer a shortened pathway for them to obtain that credit. And there are standards as far as meeting the criteria of that. It's not just a failed course. We do say they have to fail with at least 50% at this point. That is because of the shortened measure of time and what amount of knowledge we think we could increase that. So much lower than that, there's always been question, why wouldn't we let all Fs recover? Because it is a 20-day, 2-hour period, and how much knowledge, we want to do them justice with what we're offering, not just check the box that they actually have earned something. We know that many credits build upon each other, so we also want to make sure they are earning enough knowledge that they are prepared for the next step. High school credit recovery is an in-person opportunity. We do require them to be in person, and attendance is mandated. That's a lot because we do hire staff. It's a summer opportunity. It's not like the school year where it's an optional. We don't make them come. They do sign up to come. As well as during the summer, as I mentioned, it is offered after school. This year during the summer, we had, and we always have 2 sites. We have the Mountain Ridge site, and then we toggle every other year between Fort Hill and Allegany. Fort Hill students will go to Allegany, Allegany to Fort Hill since that's more local, and then we have our Fort Hill site. During the school year, we do offer it at all 3 of the high schools, and the Career Center students just bus back to their home school to take advantage of those opportunities. During the summer, transportation and meals were provided, so we try to remove the barriers that would cause them to not be able to come. And we offer this and try to get very creative in keeping the students on the pathway to graduate with their peers, keeping them on track for graduation. The next slide shows the summary of the credits that were recovered this summer. We did have 129 credits recovered. We historically, we average closer to 200, and some of you that have been with me for a while for my presentations may just recall that or have looked back. I want to say that with Fort Hill's new pilot program this year, they did implement a school day credit recovery. Since they had more time in the day, they were able to implement that, and it's actually very interesting. They recovered 78 credits during their school year, bringing that right around to our historical 200 that we are typically at. I like this graph because it not only shows the number, but as I said previously, it's not just about getting to that D and checking off the credit. If you notice here, the bar graph shows A's, B's, C's, and D's, only 1 D, and every student that continually came and for the attendance portion, if they don't come, we remove them, but every student that came to summer school recovered their credit. The next slide actually shows the same bar graph as a percentage, and you can see 60% of the students recovered that credit with a C, and 99.23% of the students had a C or higher. I added the historical data there. I thought it was important to notice that in 2024, it was 83, and prior to that, it was only 22%. That was because we had lowered the bar. We had said when you got to that 60%, you were allowed to exit. And most students just said, I'll take my credit and go. And then we thought about it, met with supervisors, came up with the amount of knowledge that students and the assignments they would have to do in order to earn that credit. And so they had to complete all of the coursework, not just get to that 60%. At that point, you can see we've jumped tremendously, which I think only benefits the students with the futuring of their education, especially in the math that really builds upon for their knowledge. So we don't want them to just exit at a D. We also offer supports during summer school as far as students with special needs, with IEPs, 504s. As you can see, we also had 13 credits were earned back for students with IEPs and 8 with 504s. We really focused on, we focused a lot on really encouraging, I was ready to say pushing, but encouraging our 9th graders to jump onto this opportunity right away. We want to keep the 9th grade on track for graduation and not let those failed credits build up till they're juniors or seniors. And so encouraging 9th and 10th graders to recover quickly and early, and really changing the mindset of students that have failed courses. There's a multitude of reasons that students fail courses, and it's not always that they're just lazy and don't care or that they don't have the intelligence to do so. And so we've really shifted in a mindset where sometimes life has just happened for these students, and the staff that comes during the summer, I would just like to say it's an incredible group of people that invest so much into not only the curriculum, but encouraging these students to just get back on track. And you can do this, and talking to them, building those relationships as far as what do you want to do? So I think that's been a really large turnaround the last few years in what we're offering as far as credit recovery. It's more than just the credit. This slide shows content recovered. We used to be very heavy in math. Years ago, it was almost 40% recovering math. It's pretty even between our major content at this point, and we do offer in the summer all of the even, we've offered Spanish 1, 2, art, PFL, health. We have all of our little side categories that also, I just dumped them into other. I will say every student that was recovering Algebra 1, 100% of those students met what we call math mastery to be considered CCR. And to be CCR, they have to have a C or higher in Algebra 1 and a 3.0 GPA. So we got the math mastery, and then all they have to do is pair that with that 3.0, and they have their CCR status.
CCR stands for?
Thank you. You'd ask me so quickly. It's college and career readiness. And from there, that opens lots of pathways for the students. And so gaining that college and career readiness is very important for them. So we did make sure they were college ready at that point. The next slide, I shift towards a different group of students that have not failed a credit, but they actually want to take additional credits. They want to further their education more quickly. Many of these students have things that gobble up their schedule as far as maybe athletics or band, where they have that all 4 years in a row. And so they will take some of these courses in the summer to get them out of the way. Oftentimes, this will open up pathways when they are college and career ready to take dual enrollment classes, AP classes. And so this is the overview. We did have 110 credits earned this summer, and typically PE is our highest attended, but you can see Health 2 has definitely bumped that one out. Many of the students needing Health 2, we offer, they need this at CCTE, College for the Career Center, the cosmetology program specifically. They don't have room in their schedule. When they go to take that, they are informed right at the beginning of that they will have to take this in the summer. Therefore, we don't charge them as either for taking that. So probably half of the Health 2 students were cosmetology students from CCTE. And then as well as just showing the number of students that recovered them, you can see very successfully. These students are very high achievers. They really want to advance their educational career. As you can see, I've stacked the bar graphs for A, B, C, D, Fs, and just giving you an overview of, and that's pretty historically accurate as far as steady, as far as how many original credits we gain. Any questions from anyone on that?
Just one quick question. You might not have this data in front of you.
It's okay.
But how many of the students, what percent qualify for the reduced cost of these programs? Do you happen to know?
The reduced cost of original credit?
Yeah.
It is, it's right about, it's actually about half.
Really? Interesting. A lot of people are taking it.
It is. In the past, years ago, it wasn't as many that got the reduced fee.
Yeah.
And as you know, those in that qualify economically disadvantaged, we give half price for their original credits in the summer. And I'm just guessing, but I think from doing all of the numbers coming in of registration, I bet it's about 50% of them. Yes. Great question. Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Ms. Simpson? Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
Nice job. Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have hearing of constituents. I do not believe we have anybody here signed up to speak, correct? So we will keep rolling. Under new business, we have some regulations for review, and I will turn it over to Mr. Llewellyn.
The first two regulations on your agenda are here because we're trying to eliminate a little bit of confusion regarding the bullying harassment policy as it relates to staff complaints. So there's just some clarification here. And the staff conduct with students regulation, GBEBB, we're just adding bullying, harassment, or intimidation of a student as one of the prescribed behaviors that are not permitted by staff. So we're just adding that there. This is a regulation, so it's just a review. So if you do not vote, then it becomes effective. Otherwise, you'd be moving to have policy committee send it back to policy committee.
Any questions or concerns with file GBEBB? Okay, moving on to regulation file JBA.
JBA R2 is where, it's the second page of JBA where the changes can be found, where we're striking language that relates to basically there's language in here about the principal being the bully that confuses, whereas the bullying, harassment, intimidation policy is really for student-on-student bullying. We want to strike language and then add language to clarify that if a student has a bullying complaint against a staff member, that they're then referred to the staff conduct policy, so this pushes them there. And with that is the exhibit, which then also provides the same information that if you're filling out the bullying and harassment form, if it's a staff issue, then you really should be going to the staff policy. So we're hoping to eliminate confusion that way. Again, just a review, and unless you want it back to policy committee, then you just let it go.
Okay, any questions or concerns? All right, moving on. The next one, file JLCEB.
This is the food allergy policy. The legislature required that we have a policy stating that we've adopted the guidelines of the Maryland State School Health Services to reduce risk to exposure to anaphylactic major food allergens. There's some other requirements in the legislation that we're working on, but this is a compliance issue for us to be in compliance with state law. Again, it's a review, so unless you send it back, this becomes the regulation.
Any questions or comments regarding file JLCEB? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Llewellyn. And now we have time for a student member of the board for an update or anything you'd like to share with us, Ms. Israel.
Awesome. I'm very nervous. Actually, my heart is pounding. But last week, Monday through Wednesday, I was with the regional president for ACPS. We went to Annapolis for what they call Advance, for MASC, which is Maryland Association of Student Council. There I had met other student members of the boards in their counties, and I met the student member of the state of Maryland. And it was so fun. I got certified to prepare for our Ocean City trip in March, so I can be certified to present workshops, to be a leader to other students. I'm looking forward to August 18th, which is my MABE or maybe student member of the board orientation, where I will officially meet all the student member of the boards of the counties. And our first ACPS meeting, I have no updates for ACPS because our first meeting will be on the 20th. So run for my money.
Well, Angel,
You have been busy. Thank you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I want to welcome you. And if you wouldn't mind sharing, because I don't think the public might know who you are, could you tell us what school you go to, what groups or clubs you're involved with? Just a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind. Not to put you on the spot, but I know.
Thank you. My name is Angel Rose Israel. I'm an upcoming senior. I attend Career Center, but my home school is Allegany High School. I'm kind of what my friends would call a boring kid now. I enjoy reading and writing.
Awesome.
I'm really excited to be here. My hands are shaking. Don't mind me.
No, you're fine. What do you study at the Career Center?
I do nursing.
Oh, awesome.
Study
Very
nursing.
cool.
Very hard, but very rewarding. I appreciate genuinely that everything there is free.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just need your brain knowledge, and that's amazing. Because you have to pay so much money for the things that I'm going to be certified for at the end of senior year. So that's amazing to me.
Absolutely agreed. That's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, any other board member updates this evening?
I just wanted to share one quick update. Last month, I had the opportunity to visit the Rise building, which is located at the former St. Peter's and Paul building. This is being led by React, which is a nonprofit. They run and support a lot of our first LEGO League tournaments here in the county. Just want to say it's an amazing space that they're building out there. They've received some federal grant funding to support that operation. For those of you that aren't aware, they support a lot of our first robotics clubs that are going on across the county. The other thing I wanted to flag there is that aside from the work that they're doing, and hopefully they'll be able to host some tournaments there, they will, of course, mark your calendars, I'll say, for Saturday, January 17th, where they'll have their first tournament of this year. So again, just wanted to highlight the work that they're doing, and thanks specifically Mike Fiskus and Barry Hartung for all of their support of robotics and STEM programs in Allegheny County Public Schools. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Any other board member updates? Mrs. Lepley?
All right, so I've got some updated numbers for the Frostburg Summer Lunchbox Program, and that is being coordinated by Jennifer Georgeson, who is a volunteer coordinator, and Sherry Ann Mangus, who is the program operation coordinator, and she's also the social worker for the Mountain Ridge District. And Sherry Ann saw a need in the community with rising grocery prices, and that was in the spring of 2024. So with the help of the County United Way, the Summer Lunchbox Program was relaunched, and I think it was previously in place pre-2020. So it was expanded. It happened in 2024, and then it was expanded in 2025, and it also serves Westernport and Mount Savage. And the program operated for 8 weeks. And let's see here, 6,823 bagged lunches were served, and that was for the 8 weeks, Monday through Thursday. And then on Friday, they were provided supplemental grocery bags, and 1,575 grocery bags were provided. And this was made possible by 28 cafeteria staff and over 150 volunteers. And some of the community organizations volunteering, we've got ACPS employees, the Frostburg Elks, Mountain Ridge Boys soccer team, Frostburg State University's Resident Life, local M&T bank branches, Care First employees, Save the Westernport Library Organization, Frostburg Housing Authority and their community partners, the County United Way, the local management board, and along with 10 churches, and some of those churches also donated their space so that the lunches could be handed out. And then, and I'm not hitting on all of the summer activities that everybody did, but every Thursday at Canal Place, Tiffany Perlazzi and Dr. Chrissy Jackson, Braddock Middle School counselors, and the Braddock Community School coordinator, Ashley Drake, they were at the Canal Place Farmers Market, and they were providing $20 vouchers for the first 50 Braddock students. And I think that continues until school starts.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Mrs. Lepley. Any other board members, updates, comments, questions, concerns? Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Dr. Bond, all those in favor? Thank you all. Have a good evening.